Hi, welcome to Top Whistle, the Irish Whistle Review Show. I'm your host, David Cartmell. On this episode, I'm reviewing the Shaw whistle that is made by David Shaw of County Durham. He makes a variety of musical instruments, including Irish whistles. This too is quite similar to the Clark original, which I did review in a previous episode. It's made of tin plate. It too has a wooden fipple mouthpiece and is canonically shaped. But that said, there are a few distinct differences between the two whistles, which I'm about to show you. As you can see, the wind ways of the two whistles are different. The Clark, on the left, has a wider wind way, whereas the Shaw, by comparison, on the right, is more narrow. Its wooden fipple has been cut into to make the wind way, whereas the Clark, by comparison, has not. It is a solid block. The labium blades are shaped differently. The Clark on the left has a more indented U shape, which makes the labium, whereas on the right, the Shaw, it's flatter, and the Shaw's mouthpiece, by comparison, is more rectangularly shaped, whereas the Clark on the left, it's more curved. The Shaw on the right is differently shaped because not only has the wooden fipple been carved into a certain shape, but it has been clamped into place, as you can see the indents quite clearly. On the left, the Clark original has its wooden fipple mouthpiece glued into place, and it has no need or use of any indentation. Another difference that I should also highlight is the price of this whistle. This one is more expensive than the Clark original. This one is £21, whereas the other one is £18. If you wish to buy this whistle, there is a link in the description box below to Dave Shaw's website if you wish to get yourself one and compare the difference for yourselves. And with the extra price tags, along with the differences that I've also highlighted earlier, does this make this whistle any better than the Clark original? We're about to find out. After playing this whistle, I have to say the good points are about it. It was perfectly in tune. There was no weird screeches, shrills or anomalies, and it has a nice soft airy tone to it, which is almost quite similar to that of the Clark original. But there is a slight difference because there is a slight sharpness to the tone, which loosely to some degree reminds me of another Clark whistle called the Clark Sweet Tone, not the original. But I do intend to review the Sweet Tone on a later date when I get the chance to. Now, the sound of this whistle has a higher volume. For instance, the Clark original has a 4 out of 10 volume, whereas this, by comparison, I'd rate it a 6, which is not too bad for a whistle, and it's definitely pick up and play. And one other good thing I've noticed is it has a much longer lifespan than the Clark original. Because of the clamping, I feel it's helped extend the whistle's lifespan, because believe it or not, this one has outlived 3 Clark originals that I've previously owned, so that just says it all. This whistle will outlive them longer and you'll get more than your money's worth. And it doesn't require a lot of maintenance either, so if you were to maintain this whistle, you'll probably need a special brush to clear out the bore of any debris of saliva. But if you want to get one for yourself, by all means, there will be a link in the description box below, and Moving on to the bad points of the whistle though, I will definitely say this is a terrible outdoor whistle. It's not ideal for buskers because it has very poor wind resistance. And moving further into the professional side of things, I noticed this whistle will not easily be heard in a loud environment, so this is not ideally a professional whistle. And another thing I will say is this whistle sadly has fallen victim to its own success because of its longer lifespan, because sadly the mouthpiece has fallen victim to mould. So when you play this whistle, it leaves a bad aftertaste and smell, and it's a really sad affair because it's not a bad whistle, it's just I think maintaining wooden fipples is much more different to how you'd usually maintain other whistles. So be aware, you will have to maybe look into potentially oiling this wooden fipple mouthpiece to avoid the mould growth problem, and it is something that's very typical for all whistles that have any wood in them, so just be aware of that. After weighing the pros and cons, I've decided to score this whistle a respectable 8 out of 10. It's a whistle that I would definitely recommend for novice to casual players who wish to play it indoors for leisure and practice. And I find it a sad affair that the Shaw whistle puts the inventor of the tin whistle, Clark, to shame hands down. This whistle quite literally is everything the Clark original should be, and if you really wish to go for the old-fashioned tin plate wooden fipple design, I would recommend this one highly by comparison. You really get your money's worth, and it has a decent lifespan despite the mould problems that I did issue earlier in the video. And on that note, I do hope you've enjoyed my show. If you wish to follow me, by all means do hit the subscribe button. You'll see more episodes shortly, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Goodbye.